my current role is I'm the team leader for the field occupational hygienists. That means I manage a team currently of 8 people. We're hoping to increase that, who carry out the field inspections in the field operations division.
I'm part of a team, and we tackle work-related health issues as opposed to safety issues, and that might involve taking the lead in inspection and investigation, or more commonly supporting general health and safety inspectors and providing them with specialist support.
I'm the specialist inspector, and I provide, where required, I provide expert evidence and specialist advice in occupational hygiene matters.
The role of the occupational health inspector is a very, very varied role. We get involved with proactive work, so that's going out and seeing duty holders and working on health and safety programme work, such as dermatitis, respiratory disease. We also get involved in investigation, so that could be with other inspectors or on our own. And we also get involved in doing expert witness work or expert opinion work for any cases that may be going to prosecution.
Certainly in terms of my specialty at the moment, there probably hasn't been a better time to work for HSE. There's been a lot of change in relation to occupational health nursing and the way they're employed in the last 4 or 5 years or so. Increasingly recognised as established specialists in our own right. We work as part of a team of nurses managed by a nurse who's a principal inspector, and we provide the frontline expertise for occupational health, really, for HSE.
When I first started, I think the first thing that I noticed when I joined HSE was just how much commitment there was to the staff joining, to how much was organised in the way of training and development, and just how much time and effort the organisation puts into the people that join. That was a big change that I noticed.
The work is so varied in HSE, and you're going to all sorts of different industries. It is still a little bit daunting when you first come in, but luckily enough the help and support is there when you first come into the HSE to help you get on that ladder basically into your comfort zone.
First of all, HSE's always had a good reputation, and these jobs aren't advertised that frequently. So when one did come up about 10 years ago now, it was a good opportunity to try something different and to become part of a regulator, and not just any regulator, but one that's got a sort of world-class reputation, really.
I think the attributes of a good inspector are quite varied, and but as a specialist inspector, I think there are probably 2 sides to your character that you need to express. The first one is obviously to be quite analytical, quite thorough and painstaking about some parts of the work, about producing data and that type of thing. But there's also the other side, which is the ability to think on your feet, the ability to personally represent yourself in front of perhaps managing directors of large companies and the boards of large companies, and be able to actually project both a personal gravitas and a sense of professional standing as well, so that the people actually, on behalf of the organisation, take on board what it is you have to say.
First of all, you have to be a good communicator. You have to be persuasive and assertive. You need to be confident and sure of your ground. Quite often we're required to persuade people that they need to take a certain course of action that they might not want to.
And being curious, because if you're not curious about why people are doing what they're doing or the way they're working, then often you don't get the true picture. So having a curious nature does help.
The thing I enjoy most about my job, funnily enough, is the thing that scared me about actually applying for the HSE. I didn't think I'd be able to do it when I first applied for it, and I thought, I don't know enough to do this job. There's too much variety. How can you know everything about every industry? And in actual fact, that's the thing I love most about my job now, because going out and seeing everything in the variety of the job is absolutely amazing. And I've been on a giant learning curve since I started.
One of the advantages and desirable aspects of this job is how varied it is. So that's one of the things, there isn't a typical day really. On average, I would aim to be out of the office 2 or 3 days a week. Because of the nature of the job, there tends to be quite a lot of preparation and report writing involved, so you do need to be in the office a certain amount. You could be doing a range of things in a week. It might be inspecting a factory, you might be investigating a work-related health problem or a reported occupational disease.
Could be in the top of a building looking at a cooling tower. I could be in the office writing a statement for court, or I could be providing evidence either in court or at an industrial tribunal, at a coroner's court.
I could be on going to see motor vehicle repair workshop in the morning, and then go on to a carpet manufacturer, then a bakery. So the variety is absolutely amazing. Typical
days perhaps turn into typical weeks where you have a variety of things, but no 2 days are the same. That's certainly true.
We get involved on a day-to-day basis with workers who are working in environments far from ideal, exposed to health risks, and we can go along and change that. And often it's the case that if we hadn't been, then their employer would carry on employing people in conditions that aren't ideal and are continuing to expose them to hazards which can end up with long-term health effects.
There have been many instances when I felt that when I've been to a workplace, again, after having been them, giving them recommendations, what they need to do, and the workforce have come to me and said, you know, you've made so much difference because I'm happier now, they've provided me what I need, they've made improvements, and in other cases productivity has gone up because of what I've suggested to them, so that is a good feeling.
Often if we go back into a company when we've been in before and maybe had to give them very strong advice on what they should be doing, the difference is amazing, especially if employees have become involved in the process. And you talk to people and sometimes it's like a light bulb has gone on above their head. And if you feel people's health's been protected and they feel it's been protected, I think we've made a difference.